Students, in this lecture we will discuss about tillage. What is the definition? What are the objectives of tillage? Why we do tillage? What is the purpose of tillage? And how many different types of tillage are in system? We will discuss all these in this lecture. So, first of all, the tillage origination. This tillage word is originated from an Anglo-Saxon word, that is from English, that is tillion and tillion. It means to plow the soil, to prepare the soil for seed sowing and to raise the crop. And the first time the comprehensive work on tillage was done by Jethro Tull. That's why he is considered as father of tillage. And he was of opinion that plants absorb minute particle of soil. He believed that the soil, from soil, plant absorb small particles. That's why he proposed and suggested that soil should be thoroughly plowed so that the soil is converted into fine particles and plants may absorb these particles. But his theory regarding this absorption of minute particle was wrong, but to some extent he was right that soil should be in fine particles. There are several reasons behind it, I will discuss later on. So, the first work on this tillage was by Jethro Tull, and he invented seed drill and horse drawn hoe. He made several modification and developed seed drill for sowing of seed and modified a horse drawn hoe. And he wrote a book, Horse Hoeing Husbandry. It is very famous book, and he described different type of tillage and seed drill in his book. And that seed drill developed by Jethro Tull was like that. So, it is Tull seed drill, and he made several modifications and invented different parts for sowing of seed. And he described this seed drill in his book Horse Hoeing Husbandry. If we look the definition, so definition wise, tillage is mechanical manipulation of soil with tools and implements for obtaining condition ideal for seed germination, seedling establishment and growth of crop. So, first of all, it is mechanical manipulation of soil, and the objective behind the mechanical manipulation of soil is number one, better germination so that seed may germinate, then develop into a good, active, healthy seedling, and lastly proper growth of crop. So, here objective of tillage is mechanical manipulation for seed germination, seedling growth and proper growth of crop. So, by definition it is the meaning of tillage. Then what is the result of tillage? When we do tillage, mechanical manipulation of soil, by different way we can manipulate the soil conditions by tilling, harrowing, plowing, and then there is a change in physical condition of soil. Some aggregates are formed, small aggregates, large aggregates, some clot formation is there. Different type of physical condition of soil exist due to tillage, due to tilling, opening of soil. Okay. So, there is a change in physical condition of soil, and what physical condition exists or result due to tillage is known as tilth. So, tilth is physical condition of soil in relation to plant growth, and the tilth means maybe coarse, large clouds, fine tilth or moderate tilth. So, this tilth is the outcome of tillage, and or we can say we do tillage for the better tilth or better physical condition of soil, and this better physical condition meant for seed germination, seedling growth and crop growth. And there are two properties of this tilth, or we can say that tilth can be explained in two ways or by two properties. Number one is size distribution of aggregates, large aggregates or small aggregates. What is the size of aggregates? When we go for first time of tillage in soil, then there is a large aggregates, then we go for another operation, then it large aggregates turn into small aggregates. So first is size distribution of aggregate, and there may be large aggregate or small aggregates or medium aggregates depending upon size. So large aggregates are in general more than 5 millimeter in general, and medium aggregates are in general 2 to 3 millimeter in diameter. So this is the size of aggregates, and this size large, medium, small is very important from moisture retention point of view, air circulation point of view. Where rainfall is very high, there is a high moisture, so proper drainage is required. So that's why in those conditions large aggregates are desirable. And when there is a moisture deficiency and water is required to be retained by capillary pores, then small aggregates, this 2 to 3 centimeter small aggregates. And in the situation where moisture retention is prime objective, then small aggregates are required and tillage operations are done accordingly. Another property is mellowness or friability of soil. Friability or mellowness of soil is that when soil become dry, then how crumbly is that? So this crumbness or crumbliness indicate the mellowness or friability of soil. If soil is more friable, then after drying it become more crumbly, and this is the good property. So these are two properties, aggregate size and crumbiness or mellowness, that is friability of soil. And if a soil is in good condition, or we can say that in good tilth, then it is porous. Porous means there is proper entry of water, proper air circulation, proper gaseous exchange, proper moisture retention, and it has free drainage up to water table. So whenever there is a high rainfall and soil is porous, then there is no water stagnation, no water logging. Water percolate deeper into the soil and it reaches to the free water table, and in this way proper drainage and air circulation is maintained into the soil. And in this good tilth, proportion of capillary and non-capillary pores should be in equal proportion, or we can say it should be in 50-50 ratio. If soil is in condition that pores, capillary pores means where moisture is retained by capillary pores, non-capillary pores means there is no water but there is air circulation, gaseous exchange, root respiration is there, so CO2 is there. So this CO2 must be exchanged with the atmospheric air. So air circulation point of view, non-capillary pores are important, and moisture retention point of view, where capillary water is important, capillary pores are required. So these two should be in 50-50 ratio. If soil is tilled or tillage is done in such a way that the capillary pore and non-capillary pore are in equal proportion, 50-50, it means it is the best tilt, or we can say it is the best tillage system where moisture is maintained as well as air circulation is retained in soil. So tilt is very important. The next is what are the objectives of tillage. So tillage is done to get better tilt condition for good germination, so that there is a proper seedling growth and proper crop growth. But in this objective there are so many objectives, but overall first objective is to prepare a good seed bed. Okay. When there is a good seed bed, it means there is proper moisture, there is no excess of moisture, no deficiency of moisture. If there is non-capillary pores are more, the tillage is done in such a way that then there will be no moisture retention, no capillary water retention, and soil will dry very quickly. So this condition is not good. On the other hand, if tillage is done in such a way that there is a fine tillage operations, then capillary pores increases, and whenever there is a rainfall or irrigation, it retains the moisture for a longer period, and then there is a waterlogged condition, excess moisture condition. This is also undesirable condition. That's why a good seed bed has 50-50 capillary and non-capillary pore, and this seed bed is the best seed bed for germination, for seedling growth and overall crop performance. So first objective is good seed bed. Then to create the condition in the soil for better growth of crop. Once germination is there, seedling growth is there, then root growth is there and shoot growth. And this root growth is in soil. That's why soil physical condition in relation to porosity, in relation to bulk density, in relation to structure is very important, and all these properties are influenced by tillage operation. So once suppose there is a germination, but below this seed zone there is a hard pan, then there will be no root development. So proper crop growth is must, and it is only possible when there is a proper root growth, and on the account of root growth there is a shoot growth. So that's why tillage is very important for the overall growth of crop. Then another objective is to control the weeds effectively. So in soils weeds are present, and when we go for tillage operations, they are turned down into the soil with the plowing, with the harrowing, with the earthing operation, with the interculture operation, with the hoeing. So in this way weeds are effectively managed. So in the soil, in the field area where tillage operation is not done, then weeds become very problematic and it becomes very difficult to control them. So tillage effectively control weeds. So whenever there is a more weed problem, we should adopt tillage in such a way that weeds are incorporated into the soil and there is no further regrowth. So this is very important objective to control weeds. Then to make the soil capable for absorbing more rain water. So suppose it is a soil and rain is there. So rain water should first infiltrate into the soil, then there should be further percolation and deep percolation, then there is a more water holding capacity. Okay. So if we want to retain more moisture, more rainwater, then water holding capacity should be very high, and that's why porosity should be very good. So we make the tillage or tilth in such a way that there is more infiltration by opening the soil, more water holding capacity by better aggregate distribution. So this is also the objective, and whenever then when tillage is not done, upper surface become very hard, then after the rains water is lost as a runoff. So there should be more infiltration than percolation, and by manipulating the soil, by making the soil porous, more water may be infiltrated into and more percolation and more water holding into the deeper depth of soil. Then to mix the manures and fertilizer uniformly into the soil. In general, FYM or organic materials are spread over soil surface. Suppose this is FYM spreading, and these materials should be into the soil where microbes are present, because nutrients are released by mineralization process. So microbial action is important. So if organic material like FYM are composed on soil surface, then there is no use until the microbes act upon it. So that's why they should be mixed, and by tillage operation, by harrowing, these are mixed into the soil. Similarly, some fertilizers like NPK fertilizers are spread over the soil surface and they are mixed by harrowing. So tillage helps in mixing of FYM compost fertilizers. Similarly, for green manuring for decomposition, it must be turned into the soil, and tillage operations like harrowing help in decomposition of organic manures. To aerate the soil. To aerate the soil, when we till the soil, then soil is exposed and there is gaseous exchange. So by the tillage operation, by earthing, by hoeing, by cultivator, we can make the aeration by exposing the soil. So this is very important, and this aeration is important from gaseous exchange point of view, because roots are present inside the soil where they respire, that there is continuous increase in CO2 concentration and depletion of oxygen. So inside the soil where roots are present, or we can say in rhizosphere, there must be a balance between CO2 and oxygen gas, and it is possible if we till the soil and gaseous exchange is increased. Then to provide the adequate seed soil contact. In case of sowing, suppose this is soil and we sow the seed, these are seeds, and these seeds particle absorb the moisture from the close soil particles. If soil particles are not intimate with the seed, or they are not close contact between seed and soil particle, then there will be no moisture absorption, because moisture is present in soil particles and in the pores. So seed should be in close contact with the soil particles. So whenever then seeds are in close particle, then the seeds absorb the moisture and then germination start. So this contact, better contact is made by tillage operation. Suppose soil is coarse, cloudy, and seed size is very small, like mustard seed, then this mustard seed not be in direct contact with the soil particle. It may be the condition, it may be in pore space. So there is no moisture absorption and no germination process. So that's why there should be proper seed bed, so that there is intimate close contact with between the seed and soil particles. Another is to remove the hard pan and to increase the soil depth. When we use heavy machinery repeatedly, again and again, suppose this soil surface and we are using heavy machinery. So heavy machinery load is there on this surface, and we are doing operation up to this depth. Then at this level, a hard pan is developed, and it is very hard. So whenever there is a rainfall, then there is no further percolation. So waterlogging is there. There is no further root growth restricted, aeration is restricted, more runoff water because of this development of hard pan. So this hard pan are very dangerous, and soil fertility, crop productivity point of view, they have very adverse effect. So breaking of this hard pan is must. By subsoiling operation, by chiseling, we break this hard pan, and this hard pan is the result of mainly heavy machinery use. Now you talk about the type of tillage. So there are different type of tillage, and on the basis of time of operation with reference to crop. So which operation is done at which stage. According to this base, there are two tillage operations. Number one, preparatory tillage. These tillage operations are done before sowing of the crop to prepare the seed bed, and after cultivation, these operations are done in standing crop. So these are preparatory tillage for preparation of seed bed, and after cultivation in standing crop. And this type of preparatory tillage are primary tillage, secondary tillage, and layout of seed bed is also come under preparatory tillage, because in some crops we make a special layout, we make a special change in field condition, and this is known as layout, and layout of bed, seed bed, come under preparatory tillage, but in general we talk about primary and secondary tillage. Then primary tillage, and these primary tillage operations are done to bring the land under the cultivation for sowing of crop. So these operations are done after the harvest of preceding crop and for sowing of succeeding crop. So these are primary tillage operations. So main objective is to tilling the soil, to expose the soil, and plowing is the best example of this primary tillage, and it open the compact soil. So the first operation which are done after the harvest of crop just to expose the soil are known as primary tillage. So plowing, subsoiling, chisel plowing, these come under primary tillage operations. So all type of plowing are examples of primary tillage. Then secondary tillage, and these secondary tillage make the soil into a better till. So till is very important, as we have discussed about the importance of tilth in capillary and non-capillary pore, aeration, soil moisture retention, aggregate size, mellowness, okay, friability, porous, how much porous is there. So that's why to make a soil to better tilth, another tillage operations are done, and these operations are called as secondary tillage. So the difference between primary and secondary tillage is that primary tillage are the first operation which are done to just expose the soil, while in case of secondary tillage, tilth is made better and clots, large clots are broken down into smaller clots. That's why these are called as lighter or finer operation. Okay, and these operation make the soil better tilled by clean the soil, break the clods and incorporate the manures and fertilizer. This is another objective of secondary tillage. So first objective of secondary tillage is to make better soil, better tilth by breaking the clods or by making the soil clean, and another is mixing of manures and fertilizer which we have applied over the soil surface. So for example, harrowing, planking, cultivator, these are operations of secondary tillage. So when we go for cultivation, we use both the operations, primary tillage as well as secondary tillage. So in general, 1 plowing and 2 to 3 harrowing plus planking is the conventional tillage system where seed bed is prepared. Then layout of seed bed, it is done for a specific crop. So it is not done for all the crops. For example, in case of wheat, we just go for seed drill or by manual sowing, and we there is sowing, and it is simple operation. But in some crops, like in black cotton soil, heavy soil, there is maybe condition of waterlogging. Then broad bed furrow are made. So this is another tillage operation. There is a machine which make broad beds, and then there is a furrow between the two beds. So some crops are grown in such type of system generally to make the better drainage conditions. Then ridge and furrow. In this case of ridge furrow, these are the ridge and these are the furrow. These are ridge and these are furrow. So whenever there is a high rainfall, then crops, maize crop, for example, maize is sown on ridge. If high rainfall, because excess moisture is drained from this furrow. And if condition is opposite, for example, there is a low moisture or low rainfall, then this maize crop is sown in furrow. Because when there is a rainfall, then this furrow will retain the moisture and high moisture availability, and then crop can be grown successfully. So another system is ridge and furrow. So there is a ridger which make the furrow, ridge and furrow. Then trenches, deep trenches are made. For example, in case of sugarcane, it is grown in trenches. So these are some different specific operation. It is not done in all crop. It is specific for the crops. Then after cultivation, and these operations are done in standing crop, and it is also known as inter-tillage operations. And these operations not done in all the crops, and some crops require frequent intercultivation or after cultivation, and some crops do not require. For example, in case of pulses, no need of after cultivation, closely growing crop, no need of earthing, etc. So also known as intercultivation, after cultivation, intertillage, or post seeding, post planting cultivation. So example, harrowing is done between the inter-row spaces. Generally these operations are done on inter-row spaces. For example, it is crop row, crop is grown in this rows, and this is the inter-row. So the harrowing may be done in this inter-row to destroy the weeds, to mixing of soil, to increase the aeration, and earthing is done. Earthing is done both sides. For example, in case of maize, in case of sugarcane, earthing is very important operation. It not only support the plant, but yield is increases. Then side dressing of fertilizer with the machines. So machines are used, or manual operation may be done. So fertilizer applied along the seeds so that there is close proximity of fertilizer or nutrient to the root. So these are some operation. Hoeing is very good operation, generally done wide space crop which are grown, and wide spacing like conoweeder is done. These are some inter-tillage operation or inter-cultivation operation. Then there are some special type tillage which are done for a special purpose. For example, subsoiling, and this subsoiling is done to break the hard pan. And we have discussed just now what is hard pan. So this is soil surface and this is the hard pan. So this hard pan is very dangerous because it restricts the root growth. Suppose the root do not deeper, and when the root growth is affected, then overall crop growth is affected. Then no percolation of water, so water stagnation problem is there. So, and the water stagnation is there, excess moisture create in root zone, then whenever there is a rainfall, then runoff is there, then land degradation is there, soil erosion is there. So, there is numerous disadvantage of this hard pan, and it is generally arise due to use of heavy machinery. So, breaking of this hard pan is important. Subsoiler has such type of tine, and we run this tines, then this tine break the hard pan, and this hard pan may be developed at 35 centimeter, 40 centimeter or 45 centimeter. Then clean tillage, in case of clean tillage, the vegetation on the soil surface is removed so that the fungal spores or pupa or egg of insect, whichever is present in this plant material, whether it is a stem or shoot or leaves, are destroyed. So, here objective of clean tillage is to make the soil clean, so that there is no further disease chance or disease infection or insect infestation, and also no chance of weeds growth. And in case of blind tillage, these operations are done after the sowing of crop, but before emergence. And this blind tillage objective is to remove the weeds, and these are done in slow growing crop or slow emergence crop. Slow growing crops like potato or sugarcane. For example, sugarcane sets are sown into the soil, and these sets take more time for emergence, about 30 days, 35 days, or even in winter season it takes about 45 days. Then by that time there is weed growth on soil surface. So, these weeds should be removed. So, that is why some tillage are done on soil surface to remove the weeds. So, these are blind tillage like hoeing or cultivator we can remove. The main objective is remove the weeds, and by this blind tillage aeration is improved, so germination is enhanced, and it helps in proper establishment of crop. Then dry tillage. In dry tillage, whenever moisture is sufficient, the seeds are sown in field, and then tillage operations are done to remove the weeds, to create the aeration. For example, in broadcasted maize or rice or dry rice, wheat crop, another crop, weeds are removed by hoeing. These are known as dry tillage operations. Then in wet tillage is actually puddling, and this puddling we know that it is done in standing water. So, wet tillage operations are done when soil is wet, there is a water, and in dry tillage there is no water. So, hoeing is good example of dry tillage. So, in case of dry tillage, objective is to remove the weeds and to create the better aeration into the soil. But in wet tillage, these operations are done into the soil and there is no crop. In case of dry tillage, crop is present in field, but here crop is not present in field, otherwise crop will destroy. Here the water is there, okay, in standing water, harrowing is done, puddling is done to create the impervious layer below the soil surface, impervious layer. So, what is the objective? To create the impervious layer, so that suppose in the impervious layer is developed by repeated tillage operation is standing water, so there is no further percolation of water. So, water stagnated or water remained in this zone. So, water logging is there and then grow the crop, water loving crop like rice. So, this is the objective of rice tillage, or we can say puddling. So, objective is to create the impervious layer for the more moisture retention, and specifically it is known as puddling. So, puddling not also create the impervious layer, but also controls the weed. So, these are the special type of tillage operation. So, this was about the tillage definition, objective and types. Thank you very much.